Hey guys, I'm Red. How are you doing? This is Horizon Zero Dawn. Now I'm going to do a new playthrough. It's not something I do a lot, so this game has some good points and some bad points, which I'll get into in a minute, and then we'll go on with the playthrough. Just wanted to say a few things about it. I don't normally do this because it's not like a review, but the worst part of it was that when I picked this up, I just came off the back of Ghost of Tsushima, and of course, Ghost of Tsushima is a pretty good game, and they both similar in many respects. So um, it was a bit, another third-person hack and slash, I guess, and it had some mixed reviews as well. So it was a bit like, here we go, but might as well give it a shot and see how it works out. The first 40 minutes of the game is not good. When I first started playing it, I put it down twice because it was like, yeah, this is just not good. Graphically, it was not good, and playing as a kid just didn't tick any boxes for me. So I actually put it down, like I said, and then I picked it back up again and I tried it again. Um, and I have to tell you, that once you get past the first 40 minutes, once you get to the proving grounds and you get into the open world, man, this game just completely transforms. It becomes something quite good, in my view, quite good. For me to want to play a game twice, it's got to have something to it. So let's talk about the bad. There's a couple of bad things in it, and a lot of good things. And one of the bad things is the horse mechanics, just atrocious. Running around on a horse it doesn't even work. I don't know what the programmers are doing, but it glitches out all the time, and it's quite bad. Luckily, you don't really use the horse that much because you're constantly picking shit up off the floor. Um, so doing that on the horse just didn't work either. So that needs a complete overhaul. That does, but it's not a game changer because you end up running around anyway. Combat with humans is a bit tetchy, not very challenging. You just dodge and attack, dodge, attack, and that's that. But fortunately, there's not too much human involvement really. Um, the good, the environment, the post-apocalyptic environment that you're in is oh, beautiful. I play on a 42-inch TV, a 1440. I couldn't change it to 4K because it kept crashing. It's kind of sucky, but I don't think I would have got the frame rates that I wanted from it anyway. Um, so a 1440 just looks fantastic. When you get into those areas, the urban areas, and all the grass is growing over everything, and you got these creatures stomping around that you can't see. It's like it's like wow, this is fucking pretty cool. Um, the combat with the machines is really, really good. In the beginning, I had a bit of a conflict on whether I was going to play this on a keyboard or on the mouse. I tried it with both. I wasn't quite sure. In the end, I went with a controller because controllers are literally made for this type of game. Xbox, go dig your old Xbox out, plug it in, works like a charm. Of course, firing the bow it takes a little bit of precision, but there are a couple of perks or skills that you can pick up to help you out there. You go into like a focus mode, and it really does help out. So stick with the controller because the mouse it really didn't work for me. Um, just like just for the precision, the mouse is perfect. But once you get used to the controller, it's all good and it all fits and you get used to it basically. And so yeah, stick with the controller. So the combat with the machines is pretty good. There's lots of different weapons. The times that you pick, they're easy to get from the beginning. So experiment with them. I mean, the harpoon gun is pretty awesome. You can shoot off armor from them and get at the weak points. You can go into this focus mode where you can see where the weak points are and you can learn your machines. Which is all kind of cool stuff. Like it's tactics to every encounter really. Um, Sound is fantastic. Totally great. Never had a problem with it. Um, Now the jumping mechanic was kind of slated in the reviews, but the thing is with these types of games, you need height in your environment, right? So you got to get there, and I understand that, you can't just put fucking ladders everywhere to get there. You want to run around and stuff like that. And I think they did kind of overdo it with the jumping points, and it was a bit too much of that. But people were saying it was undercomplicated. It was too easy, and it was just pressing up. And I don't have any problems with that at all whatsoever. Just get up there and just do it. I mean, this isn't Tomb Raider, is it? So I just want to get from A to B as safely as possible, and this game kind of delivers with that. Like I said, there's a bit too much jumping. Wish they'd like toned it down a little bit. There's plenty of places where they could put fucking stairs there rather than fucking jumping points all over the place. A little bit overdone, but not a game changer. The story itself is okay. It's not Ghost of Tsushima. The acting is okay. Some of the voiceovers, but I did feel myself the main character. She's fine graphically. She's fine. The voice is fine. The story kind of, you can see where it's going, and I don't mind that at all because with complicated stories, I forget what's going on. Put the game down. I get on with life's business. I come back next day. I'm like, who's this now? What the fuck is this about? And I don't really like that. So if you're like me as well, I just smash in fucking dialogue. Who cares? Who cares? Just go. Because it's all about the gameplay for me. So with this, I did get into the story a little bit, which is kind of cool. Um, I mean, it's no Ghost of Tsushima because the Ghost of Tsushima had the most amazing story ever, but it's not bad. So I wanted to get to the next part and see what was going on, even though I kind of knew how it was going to pan out. The flow of the game is spot on. Uh, it's not like with some games you end up like with Tsushima. I know I keep on bringing Tsushima up, but it's just fresh in my mind. Tsushima is like if you do all these um, bamboo strikes, you get your health, so it's in your head. You're like, oh, I'm going to spend the entire day now finding all the bamboo strikes, and you do that, but it gets kind of stale. Get about the story, and then you're like, oh, I'll do a bit of story now. But this isn't like a. When you get up into the open world, you just end up going with flow. It's like something I'll go and get that, and then you go get this, and oh look, I'm close to a story. I'll go and start that, and it kind of all just flows really nice. It's just like, oh, I'll go over and do this. It's nothing. Doesn't get. I mean, it kind of got repetitive at the end a little bit, but it's always somewhere you want to go and somewhere you want to see, and there's save points all over the place, which is perfect. Um, oh yeah, a little tip: just knock it into hard mode straight off the bat because there's so many save points that if you die, it doesn't really have much of an effect on you. Um, quests as well as side quests. There's quite a lot of them, but not too much where you get bored of them, which is great. So a couple of tips. Change field of view. If you go to settings, I think it's display field of view. There it is. I think it's set to 60 on normal. When you log in. Change it to 100. Totally changes the way you looks. And Ghost of Tsushima didn't have that. He was stuck in combat was happening all around you, and you couldn't see what was going on. But with this, you can pan out a little bit. So do that straight off the bat, and stick with the controller. And if you get through the first 40 minutes of the game, I promise you, you're actually in for a bit of a gem. Uh, and I mean, for me to pick up a game and want to play it from the beginning to end, again, is not something that I do a lot. Matter of fact, I can't even remember the last time I actually did that. Maybe XCOM 2, so a while ago. So yeah, so ignore all the bad reviews, all those little tips I told you, and just stick with it for 40 minutes. I'm going to do a playthrough now, and you guys are welcome to watch. If you want to skip to the next video, it'll probably be the one where it goes into open world and things start to get a little bit better from a gameplay perspective, and when you start meeting like the big machines. Um, and then it is, I think. Then it is. I just wanted to say that because it had a lot of flack, but for me, it's actually I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed Ghost of Tsushima because Tsushima had the combat, but it just didn't have much else to it. Graphically, when you go into the open world, man, fucking just blows your mind. What they've done with the sky, and flares, just like you end up coming over a ridge and it's just, wow, it's just fucking looks awesome, awesome. So stick with it, and I promise you, you're gonna like it. All right. So okay, cool. Well, thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed the videos. I'm gonna do the full playthrough all the way through, probably in half-hour slots, maybe a little bit longer. And I hope you guys enjoy. And I'll see you on the other side.